Have you ever sent a text to a woman and then stared at your phone for hours, maybe even days, only to get a dry one-word response? Or worse, complete silence. You wait, you overthink, you start wondering if you said something wrong, and eventually you feel that pull to text again, just to break the silence, just to feel acknowledged. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is the silent struggle many men face. They try to connect, they show interest, they put in effort, but instead of drawing a woman closer, they feel her drifting away. The harder they try, the more distant she becomes. And this is where most men go wrong, because it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. It's about what your words make her feel. Most men don't realize this. They send texts that are logical, polite, even kind, but they fail to create an emotional response. They fail to spark curiosity, excitement, or desire. And without emotion, your words get lost in the noise. This is not a game of charm or cleverness. This is a matter of awareness, a matter of presence. And this is where Stoic philosophy becomes your greatest ally. The Stoics taught us, focus only on what you can control. You can't control how someone responds. You can't control how fast she replies or what mood she's in when she reads your message. But you can control how you show up. You can control your intention. You can control the energy behind your words. Texting is not just communication, it's projection, it's influence, it's leadership in digital form. Welcome to Stoic Inspire, where ancient wisdom meets modern masculinity. In this video, we're going to break down 3 powerful texting secrets that women cannot resist. These aren't shallow tricks. They're principles rooted in psychology, emotional intelligence, and Stoic thinking. And when you apply them, you'll stop chasing attention and start commanding respect and creating meaningful connection. Secret number 1. Texts that trigger curiosity. Curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. When something captures your curiosity, your brain locks onto it. It starts looking for answers. It needs resolution. That feeling of needing to know more is what drives people to finish books, binge-watch shows, and click on headlines that promise something unexpected. It is also the reason why some texts get instant replies, while others are left unread. Most men do not understand this. They text in ways that kill curiosity from the start. They say things like, "How was your day?" or "Hope you are having a nice weekend." These messages are polite, but they do not open any emotional loop. They are easy to ignore because they do not spark any desire to reply. Now think about this. What happens when you receive a message like, "I just realized something interesting about you," or "You won't believe what happened today," or even, "You did something unexpected in my dream last night"? Your brain immediately reacts. You want to know more. You feel a gap, and that gap is what triggers a response. This is where most men get it wrong. They give away too much, too soon. They try too hard to sound nice, but they forget that mystery creates movement. The more you leave unsaid, the more she wants to know. Stoic philosophy teaches us something very similar. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not necessary, do not say it." That means you do not need to explain everything. You do not need to fill the silence. You do not need to prove your worth with words. You simply need to speak with intention. And when it comes to texting, the less you say, the more power your words can hold. The key is to write texts that spark a question, not texts that explain everything. Instead of saying, "I had a strange day," try saying, "Something reminded me of you today," in the weirdest way. Want to guess what it was? Now she is involved. Now she is thinking. Now she is invested. And when she replies with the question, do not answer directly. Keep her leaning forward. Keep her wondering. If she asks, "What happened?" you can say, "It's a little strange, but let me ask you this first. Have you ever felt like someone crossed your mind right before something unusual happened?" Now she is emotionally connected. She is not just replying, she is sharing. That is how you build chemistry, through curiosity. Most men rush the conversation. They try to impress too quickly. They try to keep her attention by texting more. But texting more is not the solution. Texting with intention is. You want to be the man who makes her stop and think, the man who interrupts her pattern, the man who makes her feel something she does not feel with other people. Every time you send a message, ask yourself this: does this make her curious? Does this open a question in her mind? Or is it just another message that will fade into the background? Curiosity is not about tricking someone. It is about creating an emotional opening. It is about leaving space for interest to grow. It is about understanding how the mind works and using that knowledge to build real connections. If you apply this, your conversations will shift. You will notice more engagement, more questions, more investment. And that is the goal. You are not trying to entertain her, you are trying to connect. Curiosity is the doorway. Walk through it with confidence. Secret number 2. Texts that create anticipation. Curiosity gets her attention, anticipation makes her stay. When a woman anticipates something exciting, her brain releases dopamine, the same chemical responsible for feelings of pleasure and motivation. That's why people look forward to vacations, surprises, and birthdays. It's not just about what happens, it's about the feeling of waiting for something good. Most men ruin anticipation without even knowing it. They give away too much too fast. They send texts like, "I planned a fun date for us," or "I got you something today." While these messages are kind, they leave nothing for the imagination. There's no build-up, no tension, no mental engagement. She reads it, smiles politely, and never thinks about it again. But what if you learned to build suspense the right way? What if you made her feel excited every time your name appeared on her screen? This is where Stoic wisdom becomes useful again. Epictetus taught that we should delay gratification, that the greatest strength lies in self-restraint. That applies to texting too. When you hold back just a little, when you create space for her imagination, you activate her desire. You allow her mind to work with you. Let's look at how to apply this. Instead of texting, "I got you something today," say, "I saw something that reminded me of you." Now she wants to guess what it was. Now she's not just receiving information, she's part of the process. She's involved. She has a reason to think about you even when she's not replying. If you want to build anticipation, speak with direction, but never with full disclosure. Instead of, "I have something to tell you," say, "If I told you what I just realized about you, you wouldn't believe me. Want to hear it?" That kind of message makes her mind race. It makes her wonder. It makes her wait for the answer. The most important part of anticipation is this: you do not give everything away, even when she asks. You tease, you lead, you maintain control of the pace. If she says, "Tell me," you say, "I could, but where's the fun in that?" Take a wild guess first. This makes the interaction playful, dynamic, and memorable. Men who master this understand a deep truth. People remember how you make them feel. If your texts make her feel predictable comfort, she might like you, but she won't chase you. If your texts make her feel excitement, tension, and curiosity, she will start to crave your presence. That is the difference between someone who gets replies and someone who gets ignored. It's not just about words, it's about timing, delivery, and emotional impact. You want her checking her phone. You want her wondering what you'll say next. You want her invested before you even share the full story. The Stoics understood human emotion. They never said, ignore it. They said, control it, guide it, shape it with wisdom. That is what you're doing here. You are guiding her emotion with intention. You are shaping her experience through your presence. Think of it this way. You're not just texting, you're telling a story. And every good story has a setup, a pause, and a reveal. If you jump straight to the end, there is no thrill. But if you create space, delay the climax, and let her imagination run wild, you create emotional gravity. She feels pulled toward you, without you chasing her. This is not manipulation. This is awareness. You are learning how to communicate like a man who understands psychology and emotion, like a man who knows his value, like a man who doesn't need to impress quickly, because he knows the power of patience. If you apply this, you will feel the shift. Your words will have weight. Your presence will create impact. And she will not just respond. She will look forward to your next message. Secret 3. Compliments that actually work. Most men believe that giving a woman a compliment will instantly make her like them. But that is not how attraction works. Compliments are powerful, but only when they are given with intention, awareness, and authenticity. Most compliments fail because they are too shallow, too common, or too desperate. Telling a woman she is beautiful might sound kind, but if she hears it all the time, it loses meaning. It becomes noise. It becomes another line in a long list of forgettable messages. When you say, "You're so gorgeous," or "You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen," it doesn't hit her deeply. It feels generic. It feels lazy. And worst of all, it makes you sound like every other guy. Now, let's think differently. Let's think like a Stoic. Seneca taught that we must praise not what is common, but what is rare. And what is rare in a woman is not her beauty. It's her mindset, her perspective, her presence. When you compliment something deeper than her looks, you separate yourself from every man who only sees the surface. Here's how to do it. Focus on her character. Focus on the way she thinks, the way she carries herself, the way she makes people feel. Tell her, "I love the way you see the world. Most people don't think the way you do." Or say, "You have a calm presence. It's rare to find someone who makes others feel at ease without even trying." These compliments land differently. They speak to who she is, not just what she looks like. And that makes her feel seen in a way that very few people make her feel. Timing matters too. Don't throw compliments randomly. Wait until she shares something meaningful. If she talks about her goals, say, "I respect how committed you are. A lot of people talk about their dreams, but you actually take action." If she shares something vulnerable, say, "I appreciate how open you are. Most people hide that side of themselves." These compliments are not only true, they're thoughtful. They require you to actually pay attention, and that is what builds emotional connection. Stoicism reminds us to observe before we judge. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Apply that to your communication. The quality of your words reflects the quality of your attention. When you pay attention to what makes her unique and speak from that awareness, you connect in a way that physical compliments never can. There's one more reason this works. When you compliment her mind, her energy, or her behavior, you also reveal your own values. You show that you're not chasing beauty. You're attracted to depth. You value self-awareness. You admire discipline. You are drawn to what lasts, not what fades. That makes you rare, and women notice that. They remember the man who sees them for who they are, not just for how they appear. They remember the man whose words made them feel valuable for something deeper. This doesn't mean you should never compliment her appearance. It means that when you do, it should be specific and sincere, not "you're pretty." But There's something about your smile that feels calm. Or the way you walk into a room shows confidence without arrogance. Every compliment is a chance to build connection or destroy it. Most men use compliments to seek approval, but the wise man uses compliments to reflect understanding. He's not trying to get something, he's offering recognition. Remember this: do not compliment to impress, compliment to express. Express what you see, express what you admire, express what matters, and you will find that your words begin to carry weight. She will not just thank you, she will start to look at you differently. Conclusion: the Stoic mindset shift. Now that you understand how to spark curiosity, build anticipation, and give compliments that make a real impact, it's time to tie everything together. Because at the core of all of this is not just texting. It's how you carry yourself, it's how you think, it's how you choose to connect with others. And that mindset is what sets you apart. The truth is, texting is not about being clever. It's not about saying the right thing to win someone over. It's about creating emotion. It's about understanding the rhythm of human connection. When you text, you are doing one of three things. You are either sparking curiosity, building anticipation, or making someone feel seen and valued. If your messages do none of those, they are easy to ignore, easy to forget. Stoic philosophy teaches us that everything we do should be done with purpose. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That means the anxiety you feel after being ignored is often caused by your own mind, not the message itself. But when you learn to approach communication with intention, that anxiety fades. You stop overthinking, you start acting from clarity. Let's review what you've learned. First, trigger curiosity. Do not give all the details, leave gaps. Ask questions that create emotional hooks. Let her mind stay active, let her lean in. Second, build anticipation. Do not rush to reveal everything. Create open loops. Make her guess. Make her feel the tension of not knowing. That's what builds desire. Third, give genuine compliments. Not about looks, but about mindset, character, and energy. Compliment what makes her unique. Show her that you notice what others miss. That's what builds emotional depth. These are not tricks. These are principles. They work because they reflect a deeper truth. Women do not want more words. They want more presence. They want to feel something when they read your message. They want to be surprised, challenged, seen, and understood. And you have the ability to do that, not by trying harder, but by thinking clearer, by texting with presence, by acting from a place of calm confidence, not desperate approval seeking. You are not here to chase anyone. You are here to connect with intention. You are here to practice awareness. You are here to communicate like a man who respects himself enough to be honest, measured, and powerful in every interaction. From this point on, every message you send should serve one of three purposes. Make her curious, make her excited, make her feel appreciated. That is the new standard. That is the Stoic approach to texting. Because the man who texts with clarity does not worry about being ignored. He does not count the minutes after he sends a message. He does not spiral into self-doubt. He knows who he is. He knows what he offers. And if someone does not respond, he does not chase. He reflects. He adapts. He moves forward. That is the power of a Stoic mindset. It gives you peace where others feel panic. It gives you control where others feel chaos. and it gives you presence in a world full of noise. Texting is not a game, it is a skill, and when done well, it can build trust, attraction, and emotional connection. But only if you approach it with awareness, with discipline, with self-respect. Closing remarks. What you have just learned is not just a texting strategy, it is a reflection of how you show up in your life. It is a mirror of your mindset, your values, and the way you choose to carry yourself in every interaction. Because communication is never just about words, it is about presence, and presence comes from within. Too many men operate from a place of reactivity. They send a text and wait. They overanalyze the delay. They start second-guessing their worth based on whether or not they get a reply. But that is not strength. That is not clarity. And that is not how a Stoic man moves. From now on, you do not communicate to impress. You communicate to express, to lead, to embody. You do not throw words out hoping for approval. You choose your words carefully, intentionally, with awareness of how they reflect who you are. This is what it means to apply Stoicism in modern life. It is not about shutting down emotions. It is about owning them, guiding them, holding space for them, without letting them rule you. Marcus Aurelius did not teach us to withdraw from life. He taught us to engage with life from a deeper place. He said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." That applies here. With every message you send, you are either reinforcing your values or abandoning them. You are either leading the conversation or reacting to it. You are either building connection or begging for validation. There is no in-between. So here is your challenge. Before you send your next message, pause. Ask yourself, does this reflect the man I am becoming? Does this message serve a purpose? Does it spark curiosity, build anticipation, or make her feel genuinely seen? If it does not, rewrite it, refocus, speak from clarity, not from craving. Reset your standard. Because you are not here to play small, you are not here to be liked, you are here to walk in your values. You are here to show up with quiet strength, not loud insecurity. And when you do, something shifts. The energy of your conversations changes. People respond differently. They feel your presence before they even read your words. And that is not a trick. That is truth. That is power. Stop chasing reactions. Start commanding respect. Not through force, but through presence, through intention, through being the kind of man who does not need to convince anyone because his energy speaks for itself. So if this message reached you, don't just nod and move on. Take action. Apply one of the principles you learned today. Watch the shift, then apply another. Make this your new practice. Every message, every interaction, every day. Live it, practice it, own it.